A very warm welcome to Los Angeles yet again for another live training session here on MUTV. Not a cloud in the sky today as we build up to tomorrow's game against LA Galaxy in the company of Bojan Djuric and David May. Once again, we have the best seat in the house looking down on training. Of course, you have all the exclusive live pictures right here on your channel as well. And gents, after a week of intensive training, which of course continues for one more day today, we are finally on the cusp of having a match on this tour.
I'm really looking forward to the game tomorrow, when everything starts. Yes, it's intense, the schedule, but also you treat these friendly games in the beginning as friendlies, that everybody will get their chance to play for this club. When you come on a tour, I said it before in earlier shows, I'm thinking about the young players. Let them get them minutes in, let them get a half, just so they feel part of this tour, because it's really important to be part of a dressing room. You get to know people. It'll be much easier when you come back to Manchester and saying actually good morning to people you get to know during these 3 weeks.
Yeah, absolutely, and it's good to know there's a game right around the corner, isn't it, Maisie? Because then we can see what people are like in action, including Lindelof and of course Romelu Lukaku.
Yeah, that's what it's all about, Stowley. It's all about performing tomorrow. Yeah, they've had a good 4 or 5 days now. They had an afternoon off yesterday just to recharge the batteries, and they'll go again today. But it's all about getting the fitness, getting the sharpness. Yeah, we're looking forward to seeing Lukaku and Lindelof. So really looking forward to it, mate.
Amazing, hasn't it been a good week?
It's been a great week. Yeah. I think the lads have trained ever so well. They've been really good in the work, in the preparation. As you know, Jose's here 7 o'clock in the morning, three hours before the players arrive, making sure that everything's up to scratch and everything's set out perfectly well for the lads, and the lads have performed. They've done ever so well. They really have.
We'll get a flavour of training, of course, this morning right here on MUTV, but also it'll be interesting to see what the session is like today, because, as you mentioned, they had the afternoon off yesterday because they worked very hard during the week. It's that balance that we talked about that a manager has to get right, of working these guys hard so they're fit, that they're pushed to the max, but also saying, actually, okay, you've worked hard, we need to give you a rest so that you can come back tomorrow and perform very well in training and then in the game.
He's been on the highest level for a long time now, and of course he can recognize when his team needs a break, when the players need a break. He even said to us when he came over, they were looking a little bit tired there, and I'm thinking of giving them the afternoon off on a Thursday, which was yesterday. And it's about recognizing these small problems. You avoid injuries, and I think it's important for every single player that's out there training not to pick up injuries. The depth in the squad, it's improving. It means that you have to be fit if you're going to be there against Madrid in the Super Cup on the 8th of August, and of course the week after the Premier League starts, and we're really looking forward to it.
Yeah, indeed, and confirmation overnight here in Los Angeles, back home during the day, of course in the UK, of a couple of the squad numbers for next season. Not all of the squad numbers confirmed, and indeed you'll see numbers during the course of the games on the tour which won't necessarily be the numbers that the players will be wearing in the new season, but we can confirm that Lindelof and Lukaku will be wearing numbers 2 and 9 respectively. That is confirmed as their Manchester United numbers for this coming season, which is great to know, because now you can go out and buy your shirts with 2 or 9 on the back, depending on who you want to buy.
Just don't get 2 Lukaku. Lukaku is number 9.
Yes, indeed. Don't mix them up. That would be messy. But Lindelof, of course, taking the number 2 shirt that's been vacant for a couple of seasons after the departure of Rafael. And the number 9 shirt in the last few seasons has had various different players in it: Falcao, Martial and Ibrahimovic. So Lukaku becomes the 4th number 9 in 4 years in Manchester United red, and those numbers are now confirmed for the new season. So Lindelof 2, Lukaku 9, and I suppose nowadays various people like various numbers, but Lukaku wearing 9, it's sort of talismanic, isn't it, that kind of shirt in any club, especially after Ibra's performance last season.
Of course, but it is your typical number 9. I know he wore 10 at Everton, but if you look at the players and look at that position, play in that position centrally should wear number 9. He gives you everything. He gives you pace, he gives you strength, and he gives you goals, and that's the most important part. If you score 20 plus goals for West Brom, if you score 20 plus goals for Everton, it means you've done it in the Premier League. And now when you're playing in a bigger club with better players, expectations are higher, but
Tim,
I think
first
he
of
will
all,
rise to the
before we
occasion.
talk about what's been happening here in LA,
even if it's gone 7 sessions, this is the session number 8 here. You can just
Tim, first of all,
what he offers.
before we talk about what's been happening here in LA,
how
it must have been a
easy
tough couple
job
of
it
days.
is to play in the midfield when you have somebody that can come short, but also going behind the defenders. And Maisie will tell you as a centre half, you don't want Lukaku to turn on you and get that ball over the top.
No, it's a horrible position to be in. You have the good tight and he spins you. where you drop off and he takes it to her feet and then he can spin and he can run straight at you. I tell you what, I've been impressed with the way where he started training. He looks aggressive in his play. And to be fair, I was watching training yesterday. I can't believe how aggressive they are in training. I mean, it's good and it's really, really good. We was aggressive when we was in training. But I tell you what, there was kicking 10 bells of everything out of each other yesterday because that's the aggressive side you want out on the pitch.
That's a balance in itself, though, isn't it? We talk about what the manager's got to get right, but the players have to get right. That desire to sort of be better than everyone else around them, so they get that shirt for the start of the season, but also not to hurt anybody, and then therefore get into trouble and wipe out someone who's just cost 75 million, for example.
Of course, we spoke about Lukaku, we spoke about Pogba, even Mkhitaryan, but I really like the looks of Marcus Rashford. He's just an example for the young players how you should actually treat your summer break. He looks stronger. It's more muscles, physical presence of him. And of course, you all know the pace. And he's only 19, 20 years of age, and he's just going to improve. I think it's a big season for him. And hopefully the manager will use his pace like he did last season when he did well for us.
Indeed. And it'll be interesting to see, when we go back to squad numbers, who takes which number that's vacant. Of course, there's no number 10 here now at United after Wayne.
Paddy Crerand.
Paddy Crerand could be a number 10, couldn't he? He's joined us here. He's sort of sneaked up behind us. But Paddy, I mean, we're talking about Romelu Lukaku in the number 9 shirt, Lindelof in the number 2 shirt. Those numbers confirmed for the new season. We'll wait and see on others. But it's good to see Lukaku with the number 9 being that main central.
Well, I think you like to see a big, strong centre forward. I think big, strong centre forwards can frighten centre halves sometimes. I was always a great believer. Like, if you're a centre half like David May, you just kick them, don't you? Well, now we've got a centre forward that's going to kick him back. Well, I've not kicked David back, but hopefully.
Well, he might. It depends what Maisie says to him, really.
No, you need a bit of strength in the team, and we've lacked a little bit of that actually.
Yeah, we obviously play good football, but sometimes you need that physical frightener, don't you? Somebody who can. And Marouane's been very good at being that physical presence at times.
I thought Marouane did well for us last season. Certain games, I thought it was at times, he played the position, older midfielder. I thought he had a fantastic UEFA Cup final game. I thought he played ever so well then. But I think if you look at the overall presence of our team now, we've gone from a slightly small team, I think, to a real aggressive team. There's some big lads there now where you just think, do you know what? Whether it's the way Jose sets it up or whether he wants that powerful team, but looking at the lads there's some big units where you just think, do you know what? When it comes to the fight, you're going to be real. 100% for it. 100%.
That's been a part of the hallmark of Jose's teams in the past, isn't it? You think of Chelsea with Ivanovic, Terry, Matic, Drogba,
the spine all the way through
people like that who are physical as well as being good technical players.
Yeah, technically, and of course you have pace. Not just I'm big, I'm powerful. You need to have quality, you need to pace if you're going to play for this club, and that's what we have now through the core. Eric Bailly, he has pace, he's strong, and he's good in his tackling. Paul Pogba centrally, Lukaku. Don't forget Rashford's pace, Martial pace, Jesse Lingard. It's a lot of players that can actually hurt you offensively, and then creativity of Mkhitaryan, Juan Mata. There's a good range of players there, so it's not 11 players exactly the same, just strong and powerful. And don't forget Antonio Valencia. I would not like to meet him in a 50-50 or a race.
I'm not usually a moaner.
Really?
Breaking news, that is breaking news.
That is breaking news. That's lies.
He's just saying a second ago, I agree with everybody, we've lacked that strength. To be put it bluntly, we don't kick anybody, do we?
No, well, some people do.
I don't mean actually kicking them. Put your foot in. We don't do that.
I don't think we're aggressive enough at times.
I without question.
I really don't.
That's what we've lacked more than anything.
I think with the addition of Lukaku, he's
powerful players.
Big, powerful player, but I love the fact that he can go the other way. He can come short and he can spin, which is an unbelievable outball. Not just for the centre halves or for the full backs, but for the team itself to get up higher. I honestly think that playing higher, you get more pressure, you get more chances, you'll break teams down. And the way that I think the way the manager's set himself out or set himself up this year, or certainly in training, the high pressing, and I can see that working. I really can.
Amazing. Think about just with them players. You roll the ball out from the back as a defending team coming to Old Trafford. Then you have Lukaku's pace and strength, Mkhitaryan coming at you, Rashford, Martial, who's ever playing on the left, and behind you have the aggressive Herrera and Paul Pogba. How hard is that to defend against if we come higher up and win balls at Old Trafford? You put fear into the teams, and you put that fear back already. When Wazy was playing, already in the tunnel, you won the game because team didn't want to come to Old Trafford. Last season, we didn't get result against smaller clubs. All of them got confidence coming there. Maybe we could get a point at Old Trafford, which they did.
Yeah.
And we need to win them games and put them away.
Indeed. Going back to Paddy moaning, I mean, I met you this morning at breakfast and within 10 seconds you were moaning about toast, so we'll leave that there. But let's talk about the goalkeepers, because obviously we're talking at length about the outfield players. Goalkeepers, of course, great to see Joel Pereira get his chance there. Romero was terrific last season. De Gea, obviously, the number one. And you look at one of the players who's just left United in this capacity temporarily, Sam Johnston, on a season-long loan to Aston Villa. That's been confirmed in the last 24 hours. Linking up with Steve Bruce again. Of course, he was at Aston Villa last season on loan. We wish Sam all the best. Youth Cup winner, of course, 6 years ago. In the team, it included Paul Pogba, Jesse Lingard, Michael Keane, people like that.
A top-class goalkeeper, believe me. And the only reason that kid's left and gone on loan is because of the goalkeeper we've got. There's not many goalkeepers in the world better than the one we've got.
Yeah, we wish Sam all the best, and certainly at 24, I mean, he's a terrific goalkeeper. He's got a lot of potential, but wants to obviously play now. You don't want to be down the pecking order
is that
at 24.
It's young for you, Paddy. You can't remember when you were 24 and all that. But no, listen, when you get to 22, even 22, 23, you know, it's a time when, if you're not in the first team at Manchester United, which is very, very difficult to get in because of the lads in front of you, then there's nothing wrong. I mean, you can play the under 23s, but it's not a league where people are playing for mortgages and playing for wages and playing for bonuses. That's when I think that's when you actually learn a hell of a lot more. When you're playing against players in the lower leagues or wherever it is, that's where you get your experience, playing against seasoned pros.
Indeed. Somebody who's played in the reserves in the past, albeit not last season, was Tim Fosu-Mensah, who's out there training right now. Former Ajax player, of course, and of course the Ajax family really... sad news coming out of Ajax in the last few days. Abdelak Nouri, the young 20-year-old who had some heart problems in a friendly on Saturday against Borussia Dortmund, and now appears to have brain damage, which obviously the football world will rally around and do what they can for him and his friends and his family. But we've been catching up with Tim Fosu-Mensah, who knows Abdelak Nouri very well. He's been speaking to Stuart Gardner.
Tim, first of all, before we talk about what's been happening here in LA, it must have been a tough couple of days for you. So I know you know Abdelak Nouri from your Ajax days.
Yeah, definitely. I played with him since the age of 8, so it's a very sad and very difficult time for me as well, what happened with him.
Well, you've got to try and obviously concentrate on training and do what you're doing here, but it must be difficult for you when your thoughts are probably back in Amsterdam.
Yeah, you know, as I say, life goes on, but every time when I wake up, the first thing what I'm thinking about, and it hurts me a lot. I speak to my old teammates at Ajax, and we try to be strong together. You know.
If we talk about what's happening here now, because like you said there, life has to go on. How have you been getting on here in the magnificent facilities at the UCLA in the last week?
To be fair, well, you know, I enjoyed every session, I enjoyed every day here. It's difficult what happened, but you know, when I play football, I try to think about nothing than football, and after it's after, you know. So when I'm back, then now I try to have contact with a couple of mates. But when I'm on the pitch, I'll focus on the pitch.
Yeah. And what about your new teammates, Lindelof, Lukaku? How are they fitting in?
I think they are settling in very well, because this group we have is a wonderful group. Everyone is so kind, so they feel home straight away.
Well, from the training we've seen, it looks like there's a great atmosphere, a great sort of team spirit amongst the lads.
Yeah, definitely. This is it's very nice. You know, the players are very good. You know, they help you with if you need help, they help you. So they're settling in very well.
And are you looking obviously to impress the manager in this pre-season? 5 games coming from the States, big competition for places. Is this a chance to stake a claim and impress the boss?
Yeah, you know, I train hard, I do my best, and every opportunity I get, I try to grab it.
Yeah.
Simple.
5 games to come. I guess you're hoping to get some good time on the field in these matches.
Yeah, definitely.
Well, good luck anyway. Thanks for speaking to us.
Thank you.
Cheers.
Tim Fosu-Mensah there with Stuart. I suppose it's just a reminder. We talked yesterday when we spoke to Daley Blind about football being put in perspective when something like that happens to Abdelhak Nouri at Ajax, and it's a reminder as well that footballers, when they're going through the physical endurance of training and matches and whatnot, there's all sorts going on in their lives as well. You know, Tim Fosu-Mensah coming to terms with what's happened to one of his mates, Daley Blind, likewise. You know, you forget sometimes that these guys are humans, don't you?
Oh, of course, but you
never
expect somebody that's as physically fit as footballers are, or athletes of any sport, for things like that to happen. But it does happen, unfortunately.
Just goes to show how life is so precious, you know. You moan about trivia things, and yet, you know, a young kid doing his trade, doing his job, doing his work, doing things he loves, you know, passes away. It's so sad. It really is. But you know what? The footballing world will reunite again, and
very close society, David, the football world, aren't they?
It is, and
very
you know, and rightly so. It's
we've seen it so often when you see the likes of Liverpool playing United and having a go at each other, and then if there's something sombre happen, they all burst into applause or whatever.
But of course, the reality is that the world keeps on spinning, and you have to keep doing your job as Tim and Daley are doing out there now, and have to try and put things like that to the back of the mind and get on with the job here, which is, again, as we can see today, a physically tough job. Josie obviously saying yesterday you can have a bit of time off. Today we need to hit it hard again to make sure that you're ready for tomorrow.
When you're out there, Dave, you've got to concentrate on everything that's been said and done. You have to concentrate.
I think everything that goes on in your life, whether it's problems at home or whatever it is, once you step over that white line, you automatically tune in, and once you get back to the hotel rooms and they can lie down on the beds, and that's when you start thinking about things and probably appreciate, you know, how lucky you are. But once you cross that white line over here, that's when you
different world.
And tomorrow now, of course, we're thinking very much about LA Galaxy. We were down at the StubHub yesterday, the StubHub Centre where LA Galaxy train and play, and sort of getting into the mood now, into the sort of game frame of mind, if you like. And of course, you love pre-season friendlies, Paddy, because at half-time or sort of an hour into the game, everything goes crazy. Substitutes happen left, right and centre. The boards go up. You haven't got a clue what's going on. There's scribble all over your team sheet.
You gave me a bit of good news this morning, didn't you?
Well, potentially. You never know.
Potentially. Well, you told me it was fact.
Well, no. You never know in these pre-season friendlies whether sometimes teams play a team in the first half, a team in the second half. That might happen with United. It might happen with LA Galaxy. We'll see what transpires tomorrow. I think LA Galaxy, obviously being in the middle of their season, obviously want to play United and want to make a good fist of playing United, but also want to make sure everyone plays and they don't get injuries.
It's good for United that are playing against a team that are fully up to match fitness and match sharpness and all that sort of thing. That's what you want. So that's good for United that are playing the Galaxy that have done that much.
Yeah, so we'll see what happens in terms of all of that tomorrow. Certainly LA Galaxy speaking to us yesterday, Jelle van Dam, the captain, who used to play with Lukaku, good friends with Romelu Lukaku, so that'll be a battle to watch. If
no
those
friends
two
on
face
the
up.
pitch. No friends on the pitch except your 10 teammates.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, we'll see who takes to the field and what sort of what we see between players. It's combinations start building on trips like this, don't they?
Dave, you're out there to impress the manager. You want to play in the first game of the season, so you have to impress the manager if you want to play in the first game of the season, and that's what all our players will be trying to do.
Indeed. Okay, well, from one old man, Paddy, to
I thought you meant Dave.
Another man called Gary Oldman. There you go. See what I did there? Very clever. We've had various celebrities here this week, haven't we? Julia Roberts has been around, Dominic Monaghan as well. But this morning, Gary Oldman is here at training, and let's hear from him now.
Well, we have seen some famous faces at Manchester United training this week. We're absolutely delighted to say another one here. The brilliant actor Gary Oldman is here. First of all, we didn't know you were a United fan.
No,
Tell us about that.
Yeah, no, we didn't.
Long
You can up in our estimation.
You've
now become a bigger star than we thought you were.
Well, that's very kind of you. I was from a kid. The European Cup final with Benfica would have been the time that I was starting to get into football.
How old were you? Well, you're not supposed to say that, are you allowed to say
1968, how old?
I was about I think I was
6 or 7 anyway. that
6
day.
or 7. Yeah.
So you greeted him like a long lost friend when you saw him. So
But he's a legend.
I'm calling
He's
me a legend. I
legend.
can't believe it.
It's like.
I'm
but-
walking in there now. do
Yeah,
you know
no,
that?
but when you talk about these great players and the players that I watched and grew up with, you do, it's Paddy Crane, George Best, Dennis Law, Nobby Stiles,
Yeah. Bobby, of course.
Bobby Charlton. These were people that, and then a slightly later generation. You've got like, Peter Osgood, Peter Bonetti.
it was a great era for players, wasn't it? It was a great.
was- Yeah.
And then you've got,
Liverpool are great.
Giggsy.
and Scholes.
Liverpool,
my
Liverpool
God.
were great players as well in those
Huh?
days. You can mention Liverpool, they're great players as well in those days.
Yeah.
Go on, Giggsy.
No, but just
And what about
But those-
meeting the current players here at the UCLA? Are you excited to see them and maybe Jose as well?
well, I met Jose, and that was. I thought he was. He must. Is he in a good mood? Because he was really charming.
I think he's in a good
think
mood
it's
as long
re-
as when there's not a match on.
Right. I think he's having a good. He's enjoying it here, and most of the newer players, I've only seen
On television.
on
probably.
on TV. I saw Mark Rashford's debut,
Yeah,
and that is that's a fairy tale, isn't
Yeah,
it?
for that kid being a local as well. Coming from very close to the game.
What, it was like 2 goals, wasn't it,
Yeah,
in
amazing,
that game?
amazing.
Yeah. So I follow it now when I can.
Yes.
Because I'm not always.
It must be difficult all the same.
Yeah.
Being out here and it's 4 or 5 in the morning. You would have to be.
Yeah.
We're usually just getting in at that time.
Yeah. Just from the not from the pub.
From working.
From the gym.
Finally, must just ask you, what are we going to see you in next?
We got the Darkest Hour opens here in November, and it opens in January, which
Your
is
Churchill? No.
which is we're very. It's a good one.
Yeah.
I think it's my best work.
It's going to be a great film, though. It's got to be the history of it.
I think it's an important time.
Yeah.
Those 5 weeks in 1940, when we could have
Yeah,
capitulated.
speaking German.
You know what though? People say that as a joke when they
I
go,
know.
"Well, we could be speaking German."
Yeah.
That's what would have happened.
Yeah, of course.
That's actually what would have happened. So
I'm nothing against the Germans.
no. And what's that thing we used to sing at football matches? 2 world wars and 1 World Cup. Do you remember that?
We can't sing that in Scotland.
Oh no, you can't. Say.
The World Cup lets us down.
Yeah, but
Well, listen, we look forward to seeing that. Thanks
Yeah.
very much for speaking to us.
Yeah.
Really appreciate it.
Yeah.
Well,
Well, great stuff to hear there from Gary Oldman. A big fan of Mr. Crerand here. Always nice to find a big fan of Mr.
I didn't
Crerand.
even know he was a United fan, but he's an absolute fanatic.
Yeah.
But it was funny to talk to him, and he mentioned it in the pro. He worked in, there was a Citizens Theatre in Gorbal Street in Glasgow, in the Gorbals, not very far from, and he started off there. That's why he's probably tough.
Yeah, indeed.
But he was terrific. But what a fanatical fan. You never think when you meet people from the film world or somebody that's important in life that they're actually football fanatics.
Yeah.
You don't realize, I didn't
I
realize.
think we're equally as important everybody. No
I know,
matter
but I
where you
know,
come from,
that's
you do
true.
know yourself.
That's true. But when you see people, I'm not going to say higher, but people that are stars, you think, no, they can't be, but they are.
Are we moving to Beverly Hills, me and you then? Can take care of you, no
Well, they
problem.
all knew you, nobody knew who the hell I was.
If Paddy wants to stay here in Beverly Hills, it's fine by us, I think. I don't mean it, do I?
It's them
Yes,
younger
you do.
generations. They need to learn about the respect first.
Of course, you can't even spell the word.
It's interesting though to catch up with people from the sort of celebrity, the world of Hollywood, if you like. As I said, we spoke to various people. Dominic Monaghan was standing here yesterday. Julia Roberts was watching training. Gary Oldman, obviously, and it's fascinating to see where their love of United comes from. 68 was a big year for Gary, obviously.
Well, Gary, he was 6 years of age. He's given his age away, hasn't he? Watching the European Cup final, fell in love with Bobby Charlton of all, and ever since then, United.
Indeed. Great stuff. Guys, always a pleasure. Thank you for your company. Well, sometimes.
It is. It's always a pleasure working with you, David.
There you go.
Finish on a good note.
There we go. I'll pick that up and save it forever. Let's just remind you, we do have the press conference coming up. Jose Mourinho's first press conference out here in the States. First time we've heard from him on the tour, and he'll be talking to us a little bit later on. 8:30 BST is the time for that here from Los Angeles. The players will finish their training, then Jose will make his way into the press conference. We'll hear from him and from Jesse Lingard as well as they prepare for the game against LA Galaxy tomorrow. Thanks for your company again on Inside the Tour. We'll see you very soon. Bye-bye.